The bar on YouTube is shockingly low. I released a video that got 400 views, and by YouTube standards that's basically nothing, but those 400 views have booked me 5 sales calls and 2 of them have become clients. I'm 8 months into building this channel, I've got 800 subscribers, which is tiny, but 50% of my business's revenue comes from YouTube. So in this video I'm going to show you why the bar is actually low on YouTube and the 3 things that you need to do to build a channel that attracts clients and not just views. So there's a reason that most people don't stay consistent on YouTube and eventually burn out and quit. And it's a reason that nobody really wants to admit. We're all addicted to instant gratification. You can buy anything that you can think of online and it'll arrive the next day. You can post on Instagram and get a dopamine hit. You can open TikTok and your brain gets hijacked by endless 15-second videos. We've been conditioned to expect immediate results. And that's exactly why most people find YouTube so hard, because YouTube is definitely not instant. Somebody posts 5 videos, it doesn't blow up, and they move on to the next thing that promises faster results. But here's what they don't understand. They're playing the wrong game entirely. They're treating YouTube like it's TikTok. They're looking for the quick hit, the viral moment. But YouTube isn't about quick wins. It's about building an asset that compounds over time, creating a library of content that works for you forever. So I was out running yesterday. I'm training for a marathon in May. How do you know someone is training for a marathon? Well, they'll tell you. So I need to do 4 runs a week and then gradually build up the distance over time. And while I was out running, it dawned on me, building a successful YouTube channel is exactly like training for a marathon. When I first started running, I could barely manage a few miles. My legs burned and my lungs hurt, so running 26 miles seemed absolutely impossible. But over time, the distance builds up, your body gets stronger, and what felt impossible becomes routine. And to be honest, most mornings I don't want to run, but I go and run anyway because I know that if I skip the runs, I'll never be able to run those 26 miles. And it's the same with YouTube. Most people are looking for the hack, the shortcut, the secret algorithm trick, but there's no shortcuts. The people who are actually successful on YouTube just show up consistently, especially when it's hard, especially when nobody's watching, and especially when the results aren't there yet. And here's what most people miss. If you can show up consistently, you're already ahead of 90% of creators. Because the truth is, most people can't handle the delayed gratification, so most people end up quitting, which means the bar is actually quite low. So consistency is the first piece of the puzzle, but consistency alone isn't enough. Step 2, become undeniable. There's one thing that every successful business channel has in common. They are all undeniable. So what do I mean by this? Well, right now, AI is flooding YouTube with generic content. Everyone's using AI to write their scripts and they're sharing the same information. But here's what AI can't do. It can't replicate your lived experience. It can't tell the story of how you struggled for years and then had a breakthrough. It can't share the exact conversation that led to your first sale, your journey, the failures, the breakthroughs, the late nights trying to figure it all out, the results that you get for your clients. That's what makes you undeniable. So when you combine consistency with real credibility, when you show up every week and you talk about your lived experience, your results, and the lessons that you've figured out, that's when clients actually start to reach out to you because you're undeniable. But there's one more piece in this puzzle. Become a category of one. So you can be consistent, you can be undeniable, but the bar is only low when you become a category of one. So let me show you what I mean by this. I was recently helping a business coach with her YouTube strategy. She'd been posting for about 6 months and she was getting barely any traction. Her videos were titled things like the fastest way to grow a small business and how to sign your first client. Can you see the problem with this? Her videos were just far too broad. She's in direct competition with the biggest business YouTube channels out there like Alex Hormozi and Gary Vee. People with millions of subscribers and full production teams, and they're pumping out TV quality videos every single day. Her videos were getting 15 impressions and 2 views because these broad topics are very saturated. YouTube will promote the bigger channels first and bury yours if you try to compete with them. You just can't win that battle. But here's what you can do. You can niche down and create videos that only you can make. So here's an example through my lens. Instead of me making a video called How to Get Your First Client, I could make a video titled How Coaches Can Get Their First Client Through YouTube in 30 Days. Can you see how much more specific and niche that topic is? So here's a recap on what you need to do. First, show up consistently. Most people quit after 5 videos, but it's a bit like the Hunger Games. You just need to outlast them. Number 2 is be undeniable. Most people just copy AI scripts, but you need to share your real experiences and lived credibility. And step 3, be positioned. Again, most people try to compete with the top channels and broad topics, but you need to niche down and become a category of one. Do those 3 things and the bar on YouTube is actually low because you're not competing with 99% of creators anymore. You become a category of one and you actually grow an audience of people who need what you sell. So if you're thinking, all right, yeah, I get it, but where do I actually start? How do I become a category of one? Well, consistency without the right positioning is useless. And I made that mistake. I was posting regularly for months and I was getting views, but I was attracting the wrong people because I hadn't really defined who it was I was making content for and why they should listen to me. And that's why I created the YouTube positioning blueprint, which is completely free and it's linked below if you want to check that out. What you do is you copy the document into whatever AI you use. It could be ChatGPT or Claude, and it'll ask you a series of questions. By the end, you'll have your unique positioning blueprint. And for me, this has just been such a game changer and it makes the whole process much easier. Every video that I'm writing, I can run it through the blueprint to make sure that it actually aligns with what I'm trying to achieve and will be of interest to my ideal clients. So as I mentioned, the first step is consistency. So how do you actually be consistent? Well, watch this video next where I break down my process that makes creating weekly videos feel almost easy. So make sure you check out that video next and I'll see you there.